Mr. Lewison.
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I take the next two questions, 18 and 19, together, please?
Please do.
Members have asked whether the government is considering designating additional protected marine spaces. In 2014, we established the Sisters Island Marine Park, which includes the western reef of St. John's Island and Pulau Tekukor, to promote conservation, research, outreach, and sustainable nature-based recreation in this area. In designating the Sisters Islands Marine Park, we considered the area's marine biodiversity, its wide range of marine habitats, and its ecological functions. We also considered other factors, such as the area's accessibility and its existing use. MParks will continue to research the ecological status and functions of our marine areas and study how best to protect them, including considering additional marine parks. For instance, through the Marine Climate Change Science Program, we are collaborating with research institutes and industry partners to study the impact of climate change on marine ecosystems and to develop relevant solutions. We will continue to work closely with the marine community on these matters.
Mr. Lewison.
Thank you, sir. I thank SMS for the reply. Could I just ask which areas we are considering to designate as marine parks? Because it really has been 8 years since we had our first marine park designated as Sisters Island. Two, could I just ask when was the last consultation with the marine groups, and what are the areas that they are suggesting that we designate as marine parks? Thank you.
Firstly, let me thank the member for his question, and let me just reply in two parts. The first part is the role of the community, which I think the member has asked, how are we engaging them, and what kind of activities are we bringing them involved in, how they are involving them in the various activities on consultation. And the second part about the other areas that we are considering. Let me talk about the role of the community first. The community plays an important role in MParks' marine conservation efforts. For example, in order to help MParks manage the Sisters Island Marine Park as a place for all, we set up the Friends of Marine Park community, which was formed in 2016. It comprises boaters, divers, dive operators, Friends of Marine Park, etc., dive operators, scientists, fishers, kayakers, and education providers. Whole range of community partners from academia, industry, and people who just use the area for recreation and to enjoy the space there. So the Friends of Marine Park, FMP, or short, provides a platform for various stakeholders to come together to play a more active role in marine conservation efforts at the marine park through ground-up initiatives and programs. So not just about consultation on issues, but also activities that we do together with community partners, including talks, seminars, workshops, guided nature tours, as well as various citizen science activities. And in January 2020, just a couple of years ago, just before COVID, MParks initiated a Southern Islands Biodiversity Survey in partnership with the academic community, nature interest groups, and citizen scientists. The survey will help MParks to better understand the distribution of plants and animals in the Southern Islands and guide its conservation strategies for marine habitats in Singapore. MParks expects the survey to be completed by end 2023. So the conversations with the marine groups and the community partners are ongoing. In fact, we just started a major exercise in January 2020, and that survey results will inform us on some other areas or places that we can look at for other marine conservation efforts. So that's the second part to your answer, of your question.
Ms. Nadia Samdin.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and to SMS for his replies. I have two follow-up SQs. I understand that maybe designating an area as a marine park may be seen as a large step, but there's also various interim measures which have been suggested, for example, in the 2018 Blue Pen. For example, more coordinated and integrated efforts between agencies, designating certain zones as protected, as well as more formal management system for marine environments like seabeds and foreshores. Is the ministry considering any of these suggestions? And if so, what is the progress of that? My second SQ is that given this is an emerging area where various expertise from maybe outside of government may be helpful as well, and we see very diverse marine issues, for example, abandoned and lost fishing nets, marine pollution, etc. Will the ministry consider setting up a blue group to more formally work together alongside on these specific issues, comprising researchers, civil society, etc.? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I thank the member for two supplementary questions. On the first point about whether are there intergovernmental groups or existing platforms to bring some of these efforts together, even as we think about looking at the survey results, the answer is yes. In fact, actually, I talked about the Friends of Marine Parks in my earlier reply to Mr. Louis Ng's question. But also, I'd like to bring the members' attention to what we are doing under the Integrated Urban Coastal Management Framework, which we initiated in 2009. So efforts within government agencies are ongoing and progressing as we talk about many of these issues. And maybe just allow me to give some context to the question, to answer. So MParks adopts a science-based approach to strengthen the conservation of our native marine diversity. And these efforts are already guided by our Nature Conservation Master Plan, which we released earlier. And to complement this, we have strict laws governing the management of both land and sea-based sources of pollution. So to Ms. Nadia's question, we do have strict laws governing the management of both land and sea-based sources of pollutions. And furthermore, under the Integrated Urban Coastal Management Framework, we take a whole-of-government approach to ensure that our marine environment is protected even within one of the world's busiest port areas. And to Mr. Louis Ng's and Ms. Nadia's questions and the underlying points they're making is actually a testament to the effective management of pollution within our waters that we see such a thriving marine biodiversity. In fact, I think some of the members will have read Straits Times articles around the sighting of endangered dugongs in Singapore, despite our shipping traffic. And perhaps I just quote one of the points that was made in the Straits Times article by the few authors of the report. And he said, I quote, "The most surprising aspect of our finding is that the Johor and Singapore Straits remain viable habitats for dugongs, despite being among the busiest shipping channels globally." And I think that is really a testament to our partnership, not just across government agencies, but really the support and commitment of so many community partners and groups that work on these areas. So I'd like to thank them as well and appreciate their efforts. Thank you.